We are going to be speaking about ovum donation and surrogacy. We have an excellent panel of expert speakers. Now is turn it over to Karla, who is a marriage family therapist intern who also works with individuals and couples going through infertility. And she has had personal experience too. So Karla, take it away.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Great. So much of what you all have said is so clearly important to me. And one of the reasons I decided to go into the field and work with women suffering from infertility, as it was such a difficult decision and such a long personal journey for me. And I agree with you, Sarah, that the first step is really grieving the loss of not being able to have your own biological child. Um, and I remember the anxiety and depression that go hand in hand with that, as well as the craziness that goes along with being on the hormone treatments. But I do clearly remember that once I made up my mind that this was my shot to have a child, I was fully on board with it. But there is a lot of anxiety and depression and just feelings of being completely overwhelmed when you start going to the agencies and looking at the pictures of these women that are going to carry your child or have your child's DNA, provide your child's DNA, I guess I should say. And I remember my husband and I would go and look at the pictures and look at the psychological evaluations, their educational backgrounds, their families, and it is just completely overwhelming at first, which is where I think it's so highly valuable to have a therapist that does understand what you're going through and a good doctor that is empathetic and supportive of you. But once I went through 2 different egg donations that did not take with me, and then I joined a support group with a licensed therapist, and there were 4 other gals in the group, and it really helped me with my anxiety and depression and really normalized the experience for me. And I began to feel a lot better about it and chose my 3rd donor. And all the women in the group and I became pregnant within 2 to 3 months of each other. So it was a wonderful experience, and we all had twins. So now we have this huge network of children and friends for life. But as far as the bonding, I do have to say, once they told me that I was pregnant with the twins, once I was pregnant, all thoughts of infertility and all the anxiety and depression that I had suffered during doing the infertility treatments left my head. I was completely just the happiest pregnant woman there ever was. And I felt that they were my babies. I did not disclose to many people that I'd done egg donation. Now I'm a lot more open about it. But my dear friends and my family and my husband's relatives all knew and were completely on board with me. And then I had the twins 10 years ago. So I have 10-year-old twins now. And I bonded completely with them. They were healthy and giant twins. My son was 6 pounds 3 ounces. My daughter was 5 pounds 11, and beautiful big twins. And once in a while I would have a thought about the donor, but I have to say, after I had the children, it rarely crossed my mind. It was as if the infertility had just disappeared from my life, and these were the children that I was meant to have. And what's so interesting now is that I will go places and people will tell me, "Oh my gosh, your daughter looks just like you." And my daughter looks nothing like me, but she exhibits so much of my personality. And I really think that's a statement to the old nature versus nurture question. She has my personality. She speaks like me. I think it's that personality that comes across that people, see her and just think, wow, she's just like Karla. So, but again, I do think it's highly important to get the support from a therapist and especially a support group. It just really, that's when I finally relaxed and knew that I was not alone in this quest, and went ahead and um, had a successful pregnancy. So now, again, I'm much more open about it and am working with people and tell everyone I can tell how successful it was. And again, I have 10-year-old healthy, beautiful twins. So it was absolutely the best thing for me to do. So that's my little story. I think I'll turn it back to you, Sarah. But yeah, I think if I can offer any support or encouragement to women who might be considering ovum donation, my story is definitely a success story. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Karla, for sharing about your experience. And your twins are gorgeous. They're just great people.
Thank you.